So this is just a reminder of the card that we'll be making together. It's called a mini flap because the flap is mini. So I'll put this aside for now as we go through our card kit. So I hope that you all noticed that I made these really cool stickers with my 3 Suns and a Star logo that my nephew designed for me. And I was really excited to put those on the packets. So as always, I list the date of the event, the time, and the extra supplies that you need, which are adhesive, which is the standard. I'm going to just be using my tape runner, but any adhesive works. Pencil I'm recommending, and then also the bone folder, which is this, but I do include a craft stick which will work just as well. So go ahead and peel that off. And let's pull out what's inside. Put this aside. Let's see if I can shrink this a little bit. Oh, I guess you can't when it's live. Okay. Oh well. Okay, so you get your instructions, which I'm not going to spend too much time showing you because you all have one. And basically, we're just going to be going through the directions together, step by step. On the instructions, you get the cutting measurements and what exactly you need. I've already cut those for you, and that's the advantage of purchasing the card kit, because you get everything you need to create 2 cards. And like I mentioned earlier, the card that we're making together is the Disney-inspired birthday card. So let's go ahead and open up the pack. And there's a lot of little pieces, so you can see there that we kind of left some behind. There's the black base. There's the random little white square, because that's going to go behind the red cupcake. This green oval goes behind the frosting. That goes on top of there. There's a candle and a flame. So we'll put those aside for now. We'll put those together in just a minute. We have 2 of these little banners that we'll put on that top left corner. And the rest are the papers. Oh, look at what I almost lost. This one might be hard to find. It's just a little white, well, it looks like an apostrophe, but it goes within the ear because that gives that, a little highlight. You'll see it right here how that works. As always, let's move the envelope out of the way. We don't really need that. So again, we're just going to follow the directions from the start to the end that are provided for you. So what we want to do is we just want to fold pieces A, which is the cardstock base, at the score line, which I've already scored for you. So let's just burnish that a little bit so you get a crisp edge. And same with the 3.5. Oops, I'm supposed to get this size. Sorry, this piece that already has the score line. Fold that in and crease at the score line. So once you do that, you're going to use your adhesive and you're going to put it on the inside of the tab. So if you're looking at it, here's a tab and that folds over. So the inside here, just on the tab, you don't want to go over the score line. From top to bottom. Well, you can't really see that because it's clear on clear, but you just want to go top to bottom, a good amount. And once you do that, you're going to take the large piece of red and you're going to adhere the sticky side to the back of this. Now, before you do that, if you look at the sample card, I just kind of eyeballed it and it's kind of in the center. So, you know, for this card, it really doesn't make a difference if you have it higher or lower, but to me, it looks better in the center. And one thing you want to make sure is, like here I have a stamped greeting, so if you put this too low, you want the greeting to show. So that's why I chose to put it in the center. And I'll explain about the other card. It's a little bit different, but so here, like I said, you could just eyeball it. So you see how that's just centered? And again, it does not need to be perfect. And you don't want to put the paper all the way up to the line because it does need room to fold. Next, what we want to do is we're going to put this piece in the center of the inside of the card. So we'll put some adhesive. And I've told you before, I usually just do the 4 corners. You definitely want to cover the entire tab because that's going to get moved a lot, so you want it to have a lot of adhesive. Here you don't have to do the whole thing, just little pieces here and there. You probably can't see that too much. Oh, actually you can see it. It's a little shiny in areas. So close that while you eyeball and center it in the back. Now we're going to decorate the card front, which is basically this piece, doing the same thing, putting adhesive in the back and then centering it. Again, could just be your 4 corners. I mean, if you want to put more adhesive, that's fine. Sometimes I feel like it could just be a little overkill. And if you make a mistake, it's easier to peel off. But if you're using glue stick, and I've mentioned this before, definitely cover the entire back because glue stick won't give you as good of adhesion as something like this. But just eyeball it and center it. Okay, once you're done with that, you're going to take the pattern paper, the smaller square, and adhere it into the center of the smaller red. Same thing. Just eyeball it and center it. And eyeball and center on the square. Now remember, it's not including the edge of the card. It's from the edge of the flap. So it'll look like that. See what I mean? So we're going to put these flags on top corner here, but before we adhere them here, what I want you to do is just put a little bit of adhesive in that corner because you're going to put them on together. And thanks, cousin. So just tilt them a little bit so you get a really kind of fun look there. And then if you trust your trimming, use this corner as a guide and just cut where it's straight. So see how that's straight now across? Well, straight-ish, I should say. So that way it's straight here. This one's a little different. I did that a little longer, but it really doesn't matter. It's just to add a little fun in the corner. And once you decide, or once you do that cutting, just add your adhesive and make sure the straight edge lines up to the pattern paper edge. And once you do that, just put it aside. And now we're going to work on this really fun image. So when we were separating them, I kind of gave a little a step-by-step in the order of what the pieces go in. So what I did is, if you can see, the black piece goes flat on the flap, and then all the rest of the cupcake, so that between the black and the red piece, is what's lifted up. So I like that look. Now you could decide to put this all on here flat and then raise the back of the black, but I'm going to follow my example and do it the way I show you. So for now I'm going to kind of put the black piece aside. And what I want to do here is we're going to put this white triangle behind the two little circles. So just add some adhesive. And of course there's adhesive there, but you could just rub that off. Then we're going to take the oval. Remember the hints that I gave before about before putting adhesive on something is make sure that you have it on the right side, because if you look at this, oh, I was thinking that this was solid yellow in the back. Okay, this one's pretty obvious that this is the back. But if it was solid, you do want to make sure that you have it on the right side before you put your adhesive. But I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to put the adhesive on the back of this before I put that oval on, because that way I can avoid some of those open areas. And make sure the oval, the green oval, it looks like this in the back. So there's red pattern paper in the back of the yellow, and there's yellow striped in the back of the green. So you want to make sure that the green side is showing when you turn it over to the right side. And then just adhere it to the front of the cupcake. So cute. And same thing with the back of the candle. The back is that white and yellow. And you're going to just put that right up to the candle base. Cover the red. And on the flame, there's a solid kind of orangey yellow, and the back has a little bit of a pattern. You know, technically you can use either one, but we're going to use, it's hard to get adhesive on these little pieces. I'm going to use the solid. Put that right on top of the flame. And for our little highlight, the way my sample is, it's the thinner one up on top and it's thicker on the bottom. So again, it's a little tough to get this might have been good to have a glue stick, but just use really short, quick movement when you're putting the adhesive on. So it looks like that. And you have a couple three-dimensional foam adhesive. Let's see. So I did use a piece, a thin piece behind the candle. So I just cut off a really thin piece there. place it right on top. Like that. Oh my God, I love that cupcake. So cute. So once you put the cupcake all together, it's all, then put your adhesive on the back because you're going to stick that down. And you just want to center it. And that's it. The thing to remember when you do get ready to send this out, so you notice here that this flap doesn't cover the entire inside, which is part of the design. So when you write your greeting, you want to make sure that everything you write is on this side. So you don't want writing fully across. You close it and all your words are showing. So that's just a little tip. Isn't that cute? I love it. And I love this confetti paper too. It's so cute.